Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you join us today in today's live lecture coming to you from MAzI Wisdom University. Today's date is for market day in the Igbo lunar calendar, and 11/11/2025 in the Roman Catholic calendar. Today we shall be presenting two series of lectures today to you. Because of our schedule, we don't usually have a lot of time, and so we are going to present two lectures today to you. Excuse me, give me a minute to do this quickly, and we'll continue in a few minutes. Thank you very much for your understanding to do this for now. Give me a few minutes. I'll be done just a minute. Let me change something here. This one here. Thank you very much. Sorry about the delay. Today's date is for market day in the Igbo lunar calendar, and 11/11/2025. And today we shall take 1 minute silence to remember everybody that has passed away. You know that this world is not our own. This world we live in, we are just all temporarily here. We are temporary. Everybody will die at some point on this earth. And so we are going to have a 1 minute silence for all the people that have died, especially my in-law, Ebuka Anyakaku, who passed away several months ago and is being buried today. Thank you very much. This is the end of the 1 minute silence for all the souls that have departed in this world. And so remember that at MAzI, we always advise you to use your naturally given common sense, which we call Akonuche in Igbo language. And we have always advised you to mind where you get your information, because most of the information that is coming from our colonial masters and some of our people are meant to deceive you. That's why you should always come to MAzI Wisdom University. It's an university where you come and you learn new things. And when you are learning them, you change. You learn to change. You don't learn to remain static, to be one place. No. As you learn, you change with the new information that you are getting. That makes you a better person, because change is inevitable. You continue to change as you are being stimulated, as you react to stimulus. Stimulus is the information you are getting and the physical touch that you are getting. Very, very, very important. And so always join us on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And also subscribe to our YouTube. Touch the bell button so that I can be getting all the notifications each time we have a new lecture. And so, because of the world we live in, you must be getting information from Nkoloma Hadum Wisdom University, because we present information to you from the Igbo man, from the Biafran, from African perspectives, how you should be seeing things. You should be seeing things from how it concerns you, not how it concerns other cultures. Very, very, very important, because every culture, every other person, they protest their own. Everybody protests their own, what they call interest. What interest are you getting? Very, very important. And so, please like, comment, and share. The title of today's lecture is The Analysis of MAzI Nnamdi Kanu Trial of 11/7/2025. The analysis of MAzI Nnamdi Kanu Trial of 11/7/2025, which shows that that trial is a jamboree. What transpired in the courtroom on 11/7 is only a jamboree. The Nigerian government is not serious. And before we get into that, we have to refresh your memory to let you know that when the same High Court convened on 11/4/2025, MAzI Nnamdi Kanu insisted that they should show him the law where the law was written, the law that they are using to try him, and they show it to him. He was asking Justice James Omotosho to show him where the law was written. He was looking eyeball to eyeball to Justice Omotosho and was asking him, show me the law. And then he turned to the prosecuting counsel, Owomola, and was asking him, can you please show me the law where the law was written that you are using to try me in this case? And none of them were able to show Nnamdi Kanu where the law was written on 11/4. None of them failed to show Nnamdi Kanu and the world the law which they are using to try him. None of them. And then Nnamdi Kanu told them in that court that if you don't show me where that law is written in your constitution or in any of your books, show me where that law is written, then there should be no trial. There should be no defense. And this trial amounts to persecution. That's what Nnamdi Kanu told them on 11/4. And this persecution he's talking about, remember, at one point, he has told us that this persecution of the Igbo race, this persecution of the Biafran people, this persecution of African people will stop with him. He made it clear in one of the court sittings that you see this persecution going on, it will stop with him. So if you don't know, this persecution of MAzI Nnamdi Kanu is also the persecution of anybody from the Igbo race, all Biafrans and Africans, because you cannot use this foreign colonial law, which they manipulate anyhow they want to get justice all the time. Always they want to bend it, they want to twist it. And that is what we are fighting against. That was what happened on the 11/4. They couldn't show him the law. And then Justice Omotosho postponed the case, adjourned the case to 11/5. And now on 11/5, Nnamdi Kanu maintained his stand that they should show him the law where the law was written. Because we all know that the law has been repealed, had been removed had been erased from the Nigerian Constitution in 2013. The law they are using to try MAzI Nnamdi has been erased, has been repealed, removed from the Nigerian Constitution since 2013. So it's not in existence. And so on 11/5, MAzI Nnamdi maintained that Omotosho and the prosecuting attorney, counsel, Awomolo, should show him where the law is written. That they should show him. At that point also, in that day on the 11/5, Justice Omotosho started to threaten MAzI Nnamdi to defend himself. MAzI Nnamdi said, no, show me the law first. Because without law, what are we doing in the court? Without you showing me the law that you are prosecuting me with, what are we doing in the court? And Justice Omotosho tried everything he could to make sure that MAzI Nnamdi start to defend, opens his defense. But Nnamdi said, no, you have to show me the law first. And then Justice Omotosho, in annoyance, angrily, adjourned the case again to 11/7 and said that he is giving MAzI Nnamdi the last chance to defend himself. That was what happened on 11/5. On 11/5, Justice Omotosho and the prosecuting counsel cannot show the world the law where the law was written in the Nigerian book. The law that they are using to try MAzI Nnamdi, which was repealed on 2013. They couldn't show it to him on 11/5. Meanwhile, the judge was forcing him to open his defense. And then Nnamdi said, no, you have to show me the law first before I will now know what I'm defending. If I don't see the law, if I don't have the law that you are telling me, what can I defend? It's defenseless. And then Justice Omotosho angrily postponed that case. He postponed that case to 11/7. That was why what we all witnessed that happened on 11/7 happened. And on that particular day, on 11/7, the trial that we are trying to analyze to you today, to tell you how you should see it, is that MAzI Nnamdi again was telling the judge to show him the written law with which he is being tried. He was telling both Omotosho, the judge, Justice James Omotosho, and Awomolo, the lead prosecuting counsel. None of them were able to show the law again on that 11/7. And Nnamdi is a human being. And he's kind of, I don't know what to say, but it's just unbelievable that you'll be trying somebody in violation of your country's processes, of your country's constitutional requirements, of your country's foundation, because the Constitution is foundation of democracy. And that this law is not in that foundation. It's not there. So Nnamdi made the following bold statements in the court. Number one, he made it clear to Justice Omotosho that you cannot jail or convict me. He told Justice Omotosho and the world that he cannot jail or convict him. You know why he says so? Because there's nowhere the law was written. There's no law that they're using to try him was written down in the Nigerian Constitution or any of their law book. It's not there. So then what are we doing? It's a jamboree. It's just a waste of time. It's just for them to confuse the world and just jail this man like that without no law. So Nnamdi Kanu told the world and the Justice Omotosho that he cannot jail or convict him. He also made it clear to Justice Omotosho that Justice Omotosho and company includes the prosecuting counsel, Awomolo, and those who send them. You know, in Nigeria, before Omotosho will occupy that position, somebody puts him there. That's how Nigeria functions. They don't function by meritocracy. Because if they are functioning by meritocracy, Omotosho and Awomolo will not be there. But it's because the way Nigeria functions is that somebody will put you in a position to accomplish whatever he or she wants you to accomplish. That's how Justice Omotosho got this position. And so that's why Nnamdi Kanu told him and the world that both Justice Omotosho and Awomolo and their masters who send them are causing confusion. They are causing confusion in their courtroom because you have to have a law before any trial will even begin. You have to have a bed before you lie on it. If you don't have a bed, how can you lie on the bed? If you don't have a bed, you're going to keep standing up. So you don't have a law. So there's nothing to defend. There shouldn't be any trial in the first place. And the third thing Nnamdi Kanu told the world in the court that you don't know what is law. You don't know what is law. And what he means by you don't know what is law is that you know that this foreign judiciary that we are practicing is not our law. It's a colonial law. It's a foreign law that was enforced on us by the colonial masters. It's not our law. That's why Africa is not going anywhere, because you are practicing foreign, something that you don't know. All this grammar, all this nonsense they are doing in the Nigerian judiciary system, in the colonial judicial system, we don't know about them. That's why Nnamdi Kanu told them, you don't know what is law. You don't know it. It's a foreign law. And even that foreign law, you are not practicing it well. You're not even doing it right. It's foreign to Africans. And you don't know it. And therefore, that's why you are confusing yourself in the courtroom. That's why you are going on with this trial that you don't have a law for. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. And he also told them that the Supreme Court told you to do something and you failed to do it. You know, in the ruling of the Supreme Court in 2023, the Supreme Court told the Nigerians and Nigerian judiciary and the world that there's no law that you are using to try MAzI Nnamdi Kanu, that you should go and amend it. Go and amend your law so you can have a law to try him. But they haven't done that up till now. They disobeyed their Supreme Court. They disobeyed their own law. That is the basis. That is the foundation on which MAzI Nnamdi Kanu is standing. That the Nigerian government and her judiciary, Omotosho and Awomolo, are disobeying their Supreme Court. They are disobeying their constitution. And that is why this trial shouldn't continue. And then the next thing MAzI Nnamdi Kanu told them is that you wonder why God, remember the God MAzI Nnamdi Kanu is referring to in this case is Chukwu Okike Abiama, which is nature. The natural God, not Jesus, not the Bible, but the natural God, Chukwu Okike Abiama. You wonder why Chukwu Okike Abiama cursed you. You wonder why? Because of your actions, because of your behavior to misinterpret this foreign colonial law in our land and use it to jail people that haven't committed any crime. Because if MAzI Nnamdi is not the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who has about 70 million people behind him, if Nnamdi Kanu is just a common man, they will just throw him into the jail. As it is right now, they will just throw him inside the jail. It is because of his personality. He's a leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. What 70 million people across the world are supporting him. That is why they cannot shove him under the table or under the carpet. That's why he's still standing tall. That is why he's speaking with authority. If he's a common man like me and you, case closed, we would have been jailed a long time ago. And so that is why MAzI Nnamdi is telling them, you wonder why God cost you, because you are not doing things right. And then Nnamdi Kanu again make it clear that you don't respect your law or constitution or Supreme Court. You don't respect your law, because if you don't have a law in your constitution, why are we in trial? What are we doing here? If your Supreme Court have informed you that you don't have no case against this man, there's no law. For more than 2 years now, you were unable to amend that law because probably you're protecting Fulani terrorists. You don't want to try them. And other terrorists that are well known, that are killing Nigerians and the military. You want to protect them, and you don't want to amend that law, then there shouldn't be any trial. You should discharge and acquit Nnamdi Kanu. That's the best way to do it. So you disobey your law, disobey your Supreme Court, then what are we doing in court? And Nnamdi Kanu let them know that they don't know what justice means. He let them know they don't know what justice means. Justice means, even according to that colonial judiciary, that they say that colonial judiciary is blind. It doesn't care whom you are. It will, it will give you the correct judgment. But not in Nigeria. Not in Nigeria and most African countries. They will bend it, they will twist it, as long as it favors those in control of the government, those in control of the guns in their countries. That's what they are doing. That's why Nnamdi Kanu told them that you don't know justice. You don't know what justice means. Justice means that anybody will get justice, be it a child, be it an Igbo man, be it a Yoruba man, be it an Hausa man, be it a Fulani man, be it an Isekere man, be it an Urobo man, be it an Ijo man, be it a Nupe person, a Gwari person, a Kanuri person. You must get justice. It will be fair. That's why Nnamdi Kanu told them, you don't know what justice means. And he was asking them, why are we in court? If you don't know what justice means, what are we doing in the court? You are wasting our time. And he said, useless Black African people. You know why he made that statement? Why should we be following foreign colonial judiciary? Why should we be following it? Throw everything foreign away and go back to your own ancestral judiciary. You have it before the white man came. You have it. useless black people. You copied foreign colonial judiciary. You can't even practice it well. You can't even make it better than the colonial masters have it, that own it. You are bending it, you are twisting it when you want to achieve what you want to achieve, to suit you. That's not how justice works. And then Nnamdi Kanu told the world that you are dreaming if you think your masters will tell you to jail me, and you will. You are dreaming. Those who put Omotosho there have given him instruction. Even though there's no law, jail him. That's why I let him know that he knows, the whole world should know that they have given Omotosho instruction to jail him, even without no law. And that is why he made it clear to Omotosho and Awomolo, the prosecuting counsel, that you cannot jail me even though your masters have told you to do so. That you cannot. And then Nnamdi Kanu, roared, thundered in the courtroom. If it was you, you will do the same. He's been incarcerated for more than going to 5 years now. Somebody you illegally rendition from Kenya in 2021 up till now. Almost 4 years, he's been in detention. You always bring him in, sending him back. You don't have anything. You don't have anything. And now you are forcing. It's like you want to put him behind bar by force, by fire, by force. That's not how justice works. That's not how justice works. So now they can't let them know. Again, just like he talked to Binta Nyako. The same way he spoke to Binta Nyako, the same way he's speaking now to Omotosho, to let him know that all the plan that they have against him, he already know. And he made it clear to the world what is going on. And then Nnamdi Kanu asked so many questions. Why are we in court? What are we doing in the court of law? If you are coming there to bend it, if you are coming here to twist it, if you are coming here to persecute me, to deliver wrong judgments without a law, without a written law, what are we doing in court? And then Omotosho, Justice Omotosho, angrily, again, adjourned the case to November 20 and said that he will deliver judgment on that November 20. And we at Nkoloma Hadun, we are asking, how can Omotosho deliver judgment on November 20 without no written law? Without no written law. You have to have a written law to have a trial. And therefore, any judgment Justice Omotosho is rendering on 11/20, November 20, should be to discharge MAzI Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, discharge and acquit him unconditionally, because they don't have no law. They don't have no case against MAzI Nnamdi Kanu. Anything short of that, the whole world will know that it is simply persecution. It is simply persecution of the Igbo race, persecution of Biafrans, persecution of Africans, and persecution of the world. Because injustice against one is injustice against all. That's what the whole world will say. But Justice Omotosho will shock the world. We show that he wants to redeem the image of the Nigerian judiciary and Nigerian government by unconditionally releasing and acquitting MAzI Nnamdi Kanu of all charges, and let him be free to go to anywhere he chooses in the world. without no disturbance. If Omotosho does that, then he is in the trying to redeem the image of Nigerian judiciary and the Nigerian government. But if he goes on the contrary, because now a lot of people are saying there's no law. Now the Kanu said there shouldn't be any trial, and there shouldn't be. You don't have a law. There shouldn't be any trial. There shouldn't be any defense. It's persecution. How then can you render this judgment? What are you going to render? Than to unconditionally release and acquit MAzI Nnamdi because he has committed no crime known to law. He has committed no crime known to law. This is the right thing for Omotosho to do on that date. Even some people are arguing that since Nnamdi Kanu have punctured their plan to illegally jail him without no law, that Justice Omotosho failed to even ask the prosecuting counsel, Awomolo, to do his closing statement, which is a violation of judicial process. It's a complete violation of judicial process for Omotosho to just go from A to B or A to Z without having even the prosecuting counsel to close their case, and he going to ruling. Ruling for what? Ruling short of unconditional release, discharge, and acquitting of MAzI Nnamdi Kanu. The whole world will know that this is simply persecution. And we will agree with them, the whole world. And so, before we continue, we have to beg you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell button. If you hit that bell button, anytime we do a new lecture, you'll be first to get it. And also go back to our previous lectures, and you'll be glad that you did. Because all our lectures, we package it from the Igbo man, from the Biafran and African perspectives. How you should be seeing things. That's how the world is grouped. You don't see things from how an American sees it, or how somebody from Britain sees it, or somebody from France or Australia, or Chinese, or Russia. No. Or even Saudi Arabia. You see things from how it concerns you. That's what we want you to know. And therefore, also like, comment, and share. Share this lecture to get to your friends and family members. Because when you get a new information, you pass it to yourself first. After yourself, you pass it to your family. After your family, then you pass it to your friends and well-wishers. That's how it goes. And that's what we want you to do with Nkoloma Hadum Wisdom University. We are here for you. We are a university. And we chose to follow this MAzI Nnamdi Kanu case because it is a case that we liberate, that we free Africans from colonial shackles, which we are embedded in their colonial boundaries. When these colonial boundaries are breaking down, when we dismantle the colonial boundaries, Africa will be free and develop very, very fast. That is why we are following this case. And we started by taking you back to what happened on 11/4. On 11/4, Nnamdi Kanu insisted that you must show me the law. He told Omotosho and Awomolo to show me the law. That if there's no law, if you don't show me a written law, that this amounts to, if you don't show me a written law, there should be no trial, there should be no defense, and this amounts to persecution. And this persecution is all Igbos are being persecuted. All Biafrans, all Africans, all colored people around the world, you are being persecuted in this case, if you don't know. And then Justice Omotosho, in anger, postponed the case to 11/5. On 11/5, he was forcing MAzI Nnamdi Kanu to open his defense. MAzI Nnamdi Kanu was saying, no, you have to show me where the law is written. And again, Justice Omotosho warned that if he moved this case on the 7th, that is the last chance for MAzI Nnamdi Kanu to open his defense. And MAzI Nnamdi Kanu made it clear to him also on that day that they need to show him the written law where their trial is standing on. But the judge and the prosecuting team failed to do so. And then on the 11th, Nnamdi Kanu made it clear to the judge and to the world that you are not able to convict or jail me because you don't have a law. You don't have a law under which you are trying me with. And therefore, if you don't have a law, you cannot be able to convict me. He also let Justice Omotosho and Awomolo and other people behind them to know that they are the one causing confusion in the courtroom and on a ledger standing in Nigeria. They are the one causing confusion. All the confusion going on in that courtroom that is going on in Nigeria, it is this type of behavior that is leading to that, where you don't have no law written down and you are trying to convict somebody without no basis, without no local standing, that it is wrong, that they are damaging Nigerian judiciary, and they are damaging the Nigeria as a country. That's what he's telling them. They're causing confusion. And he told them that they do not know the law. You do not know the law. That's what Nnamdi Kanu told them. They don't know the law because this is a foreign law. It's a foreign colonial judiciary. And instead of you to practice it the way even the colonial masters are doing it, you try to bend it. You try to twist it. That's why he told them they don't know the law. And then also, the Supreme Court told them also that you don't have a law under which you are trying this guy. You don't have a law. Go and amend it. And that Supreme Court judgment came in 2023, December 2023. And up till now, Nigerian government have not amended that law because probably they are trying to shield, to protect the Fulani terrorists who are really the terrorists destroying Nigeria. How many of them have they prosecuted? Have you heard that any of the Fulani terrorists, herdsmen terrorists, bandits, whatever name they're calling them, Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakarowa? How many times have you heard that they have been prosecuted in the courts? That's why they repeal that law. That's why they repeal that law, to protect the terrorists. And Nnamdi Kanu said something again that is very important. You wonder why God cursed you. You wonder why God cursed you. And the God he's referring to is Chukwukikabiama, nature, the natural God, not Jesus or Bible. The creator, what we call the creator. Remember, creator is not one person. It's made up of so many things. The air we breathe, the trees you see, the rivers and waters, you know, because humans were formed from water. You don't know? Hydrocarbon. All the mountains, the rain falling, the sunshine. All these are nature. All these are gods. These are the Almighty God, natural gods. That's what he was referring to. That's why they cost you, because you are not doing things right. Because if you do correct things, you get the correct results. And then he also made it clear to them that you don't respect your law or constitution or Supreme Court. You don't respect any of those. You don't. Even MAzI Nnamdi Kanu had been discharged and unacquitted by the appeal court in 2022. I think October 10, 2022. He was being accused and acquitted, but the Nigerian government did not obey it. Yet they are practicing this foreign colonial law, which they don't obey. As a government, should be obeying the laws, both the one that favor you and the one that doesn't favor you. That's how we know that that law is working. But only when you choose to obey the ones that favors you, then you don't know the law, according to MAzI Nnamdi. You don't respect your law, Constitution, or Supreme Court. And then he said again, you don't know what justice means. That's what all this culminated into. If you don't respect your Constitution, you don't respect your Supreme Court, you don't respect your court judgments, then you don't know what justice means. Justice is supposed to be blind and provide judgment on equal basis to everybody, irrespective of your race, your tribe, your color, your religion, but not in this case. Not in MAzI Nnamdi's case. In his own case, there's not even a law to try him with, but they are proceeding with it. Where are you going to get to that? And then Nnamdi also said, useless Black African people. Useless Black African people, that since you know that this white people, this colonial people come to colonize you, come and impose all their culture on you for how many years now? And you African people, you are still following those foreign laws against your own law, against your ancestral laws, the laws you have before the arrival of the colonial masters. You are still following it. Why should you continue to follow those laws? The law of another land. You are following it in Africa. That is wrong. And even the worst is that even if you are following it, you're not even following it right. You twist it, you bend it, you turn it around, you take bribe, you know, which is not supposed to be so. Yeah. And then he let the judge know that he and his cronies, they are dreaming that they cannot jail him. They are dreaming. If anybody, your masters that put you there, prosecuting team, Awomolo, and the judge, Justice Omotosho, that you, all of you, cannot convict me because you don't have no law to convict me with. And he was asking them, what are we doing in a court of law? If this is a court of law, what are we doing here when you don't obey your Constitution, you don't obey your Supreme Court, you don't obey the judgments from your court? Nnamdi has won so many cases, both the one that's awarded MAzI Nnamdi billions of naira from Nigerian government. They haven't paid even a dime, even a kobo. Why are we doing in court? And then Justice Omotosho postponed this case to say he will rule on it on November 20. And the whole world is waiting. The whole world is watching to see what he will do. Because even the prosecuting team did not present closing remarks on their case. Even from the start, the prosecuting team don't have any case. They don't have any case. All the witnesses they called, 90% of the questions that were asked to them, they said they don't know or they can't recall. There was no evidence. Nothing. They don't have a case. And many have concluded that Nnamdi Kanu is going what he's going through because he's an Igbo man. That's what everybody's saying. Because Sunday Igboho did the same thing, he's free. Even Omoyele Sowore, he did the same thing, he's going around. Even the main terrorists, the main Fulani terrorists, rampaging and killing and doing organ harvesting and causing IDP camps, refugee camps in Nigeria, and illegally mining the resources in Nigeria, none of them have been prosecuted. What a country. What a world. What will Justice Omotosho rule on? than to unconditionally release, discharge, and acquit MAzI Nnamdi Kanu. Because we are concerned at Nkoloma Hadum what is going on. Because MAzI Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. IPOB is the only organization that controls everybody in the former Eastern region, even in Benue, even in Kogi, even in some part of Nasarawa, even in Plateau. IPOB is controlling millions and millions of people under MAzI Nnamdi Kanu. And you are treating him this way? So if he's just a common man like me and the other people, you're just jealous like that? That's why we are saying that Nnamdi Kanu have said, you don't know your law. You don't know what justice means. That's what he's telling them like that. And so Justice Omotosho, please listen to this, our lecture today, for you to know that you have only one choice on November 20. And that choice is for you to unconditionally release, acquit, discharge MAzI Nnamdi Kanu. If not, the whole world will see it as persecution. Persecution of the Igbo race, persecution of Biafrans, persecutions of Africans, persecutions of colored people around the world may not be tolerated in this 21st century. And with this, we shall bring today's lecture to an end. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like, comment, let's know how you're feeling on this lecture, and also share. And don't forget, our next lecture is coming on by 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, where Kenny Inugo, our public analyst, will be discussing the Biafran War. Our second lecture, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, will be airing with our special public analyst, Kenny Nigo. He'll be discussing the Biafran War, what happened in the Biafran War. Very interesting one. So line up, join us in order to benefit from that lecture. And with this, we shall bring today's lecture to an end. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.